if you're listening to the news at all, you've been hearing a lot of talk about an oncoming recession. And also the other word being thrown around a lot is the word inflation. And in the news, the tone is all of this basically like, should we be scared or should we not be scared? And so Tovy and I just really wanted to come and talk to our group members about our perception of how to handle the economy, I guess. I think that it is important to be intentional about not responding just emotionally to what the news is saying in any given moment, and not just to go into fear. And here's why. You get what you ask for. You get what you're looking for. There's actually a part in our brain called the reticular activating system. And it's a filter. It's just like doing a Google search. Basically, there are millions of pieces of input coming into our brains at any given moment. And the reticular activating system sorts through them and holds on to the ones that match what you're looking for, whereas it kind of lets everything else go. So if you're looking for evidence of a bad economy, that's what is going to manifest in your life. That's what you're going to find. If you start to expect hard times, then guess what? That's what you're going to start experiencing. And so it's really, really important that you be the master of your own mind. And so that is our first kind of recommendation, talking about, any of this time period, that you be the master of your own mindset. Yes, so Phil just mentioned, if I remember correctly, during each major recession, more millionaires are made. Absolutely, yeah. And that started even in the Great Depression. There were more millionaires made during the Great Depression than throughout any time previous in history. That might be U.S. history, but nonetheless, that's kind of a phenomenal thought. And it kind of leads right into our second recommendation, which is, so the first one is just master your mindset. The second one is look for opportunities, right? Whenever there's a recession, there are always opportunities. No matter whether the market is going up or down, the economy is cyclical, and we'll get back to that. But there's always opportunities. And so if you close your mind and you go, okay, I'm just going to batten down the hatches and stay alive during these next months or years, yeah. Right? Oh, it's hard economic times and I just need to not lose my house or whatever. Like all you're doing is trying to stay safe. You're not open to amazing opportunities. So, we have examples. Tovy and I have been talking about this all week. We have examples from our life. So in 2001, there was a recession, and then the World Trade Center happened. So already we were in tough economic times, and the World Trade Center attack happened, and I was called into my work. All the staff at the school I was at was called into work. And because it was an international school, we were basically told that all of our hours were getting cut. And we'd already been in a hard time. So Tovy and I were just like, all right, this is the perfect opportunity. Let's move to San Francisco and start new. We already lost our jobs. There's nothing holding us here. It's a perfect time for us to make this move that we've already been dreaming of.
Yeah, and actually, when we moved to San Francisco, we had like no job.
Yeah.
We did a transfer from the apartment we used to live here, actually in Huntington Beach back in 2000. So we did a transfer of apartment
The same company.
to the same company, And that was great because
So we didn't even look at the apartment first. Like we didn't go up and scout out where we were moving. We
No.
didn't have the money for something like that.
we just moved.
We just moved. We
Yeah.
saw our apartment for the first time when we moved in.
Yeah.
And then the next Monday, we both went and looked for jobs. And you got a job that first day that we were out.
Well, at first, when we moved to San Francisco, I just finished my college, the computer technician. And we actually, one of the reasons we moved when Melanie lost her job, and I had a dream to work for IBM. So, but IBM, 15,000 people got laid off in 2001, July 2001. So while I was doing my application,
15,000 people got laid off from IBM.
so that was right on time. I was doing my resume, to apply for a job down there, and so I couldn't get a job. But I ended up working in the parking lot. I ended up finding there's a big company. I mean, it actually was a small company at the time. They had like 4 or 5 locations in the parking lot, and I ended up working for them for 15 years. But one of the reasons I worked for them for so long because they had a leadership. So that was a great moment. But then in 2001, 2002, we bought our first condo, and it was like under recession. It was bad. Everything was going down, and we had opportunity to buy our first condo, and of course our parents helped us a little bit to do the down payment. But it was our first place. We stayed there for 2 years. Our first kid born down there, and then the house started getting smaller, right? So we sold it. We saved the money.
Well, also, speaking of selling it, house prices were very high in 2004. If we'd known that they were going to keep going up and up and up, we could have held on. But that's another tip that I want to talk about, which is don't always hold out for better, right? Just take the opportunity when you see it, right? So prices were going up and up and up, and then we were in the elevator with a couple, and they were basically saying that their friends had just put an offer on an apartment in our condo complex and had been turned down, and they were disappointed, and they were hoping to find one. And we were like, really? Because we've been thinking about selling one. So we sold to those people at a pretty high price. But then the market got so hot, especially the housing market in Northern California, got so hot 2004, 2005, 2006, 2007. We thought we would never buy a house again.
Yeah, that's what we thought.
We thought like we were renting for the rest of our lives. But we realize now that our lives are so long.
I know. I mean, it was 2007. 2007, a friend of ours was like, why you guys just don't buy a house? And then she was like, there's a house in East Palo Alto, cheap, you can look at it, And we were like, no, we can't afford to buy a house right now. We were like terrified about buying a house at the time because all the thing was going on.
Well,
but then,
let me backtrack because that's actually important. All during that time when the housing market was getting hotter and hotter and prices were going up and up, you had a lot of friends that were buying houses for no interest, no down payment,
zero down,
interest-only payments, getting themselves into situations and suggesting that you do the same, like get into a house that you can't really afford. And I remember saying, like, no, we're going to wait until we can actually afford a house. And if we can't ever afford it, we can't ever afford it. And then the mortgage crisis happened. And kind of as soon as it happened, we realized this is an opportunity.
Yeah, opportunity.
That's the point of the story.
And, and we found the actual perfect house and the perfect price in the perfect timing. And we didn't miss the opportunity. We had to jump on it. And,
not wait to see if maybe, because houses still did get cheaper for another year or two after that. But I'm glad we got what we got when we got it.
Yeah, definitely. And it wasn't a happy situation to buy the house because it actually took us 6-7 months to actually take the house because it was a short sale and the owner didn't want to get out of the house. And it took us 6-7 months, waiting. We already bought a house. We already put our money on there, and we're still waiting. until we get the house back, and he destroyed the house and a little bit, and but we still took the house with all the
Great.
blessings of
Gratitude.
gratitude, all happy, and we fix it little by little in what we can, and it was a lot of work, a lot of money into it, but 11 years later, it was a time to let it go, and it was a perfect time as well.
And part
Yeah.
of the reason that we were in that perfect position in 2008 is that I had done a lot. I probably read during that time when Alex was little. So like in 2004, 2005, 2006, I read so much about personal finance, about getting out of debt. I was just very, very focused on getting our financial house in order so that when we got to 2008 and we were confronted with that opportunity, we were ready. And so that's another strategy that I wanted to talk about. So number one is, anyone drop it in the comment. Tip number one, strategy number one. Work on your, I think there's a delay because I know they know. Focus on your mindset first. Focus on your mindset every day. Raise your vibration. Expect good things to happen. Stay focused on your vision of your life. Meditate. Strategy number two, be open. Look for opportunities and seize opportunities. The other thing we haven't talked about in terms of opportunities is that the jobs report came out yesterday. There are so many jobs. There are so many employers that are hungry for jobs. And I know that our whole deal is like, quit your job, love your life, right? And we're doing it and we're happy that we're doing it. However, we have savings. We have a home that we can count on. We have some credit. We are in a pretty good position right now. We've gotten ourselves into the position to be able to quit our job and love our life. Maybe part of your journey towards quitting your job and loving your life is finding an amazing job right now that you could do for the next few years so that you could save up and be ready. So that you can save up and be ready to take that opportunity, whether it's buying a house or at starting your business. I think Margaret's going to join us right now. I'm very excited.
Yeah, that's awesome.
So number one, mindset. Number two, opportunity. Number three is educate yourself. Strategies. Things are scary when you don't know how to handle them. There she is.
I had to go to my cell phone to be able to get on.
Perfect.
And for some reason that had the option. So thank you for waiting for me.
No problem. Let me just finish up with this and then it'll be a perfect segue over to you. So learn strategies. Educate yourself. If you're on Facebook, every day there's a new masterclass about how to create wealth. I don't know what ads are popping up on your feed, but if they're not about creating wealth and making the most of your situation, maybe start searching for that stuff. Go to your public library and get books on financial education, because the more you know, the more confident you are and the better decisions you can make. So speaking of educated and making good decisions, Margaret Sheldon, as I said in my post, has been in the investment industry for over 30 years. She's a certified financial planner professional. She's a registered representative with, and securities and advisory services are offered through LPL Financial, a registered investment advisor, and members of FINRA and SIPC. Margaret also holds California insurance license for life insurance and annuities. And she is Tovy and my certified financial planner. And she has taken good care of us. We were probably some of her first clients. I was, before Tovy even came along. So she's taken good care of us financially and allowed us to be in the situation that we're in. So listen carefully to her wisdom. And Margaret, over to you.
Thank you very much, Melanie and Tovy, for including me today. Sorry it took me so long to get connected, but I'm glad I tried something new. Anyway, as you know, but maybe some of your guests don't know, I'm in a very heavily regulated industry. And so I have to put caveats on a lot of things that I say. And the first thing that I need to say is that this discussion is for general information only and not intended to provide specific advice or recommendations for any individual. But I wanted to follow along with what Melanie and Tovy were saying to you, which is first get your mindset straight, because that is so very, very important. If you let it happen, the news and information that comes through can be so frightening at times. And there's always another side. Somebody always sees it from a different perspective. And you've probably heard of Warren Buffett, or you may have heard of him. He's a great investor. And he says that the best time to invest is when everyone else is fearful. And so that's because your opportunities are greater, just as Melanie and Tovy were talking about. So I wanted to share with you a few strategies that I have used with my clients over the years. And I can't make any guarantees, again, some quotes here. I can't make any guarantees about market declines, but I can say that these are some of the strategies that have worked in past market declines. One of the methods, and I don't know how much time I have. We only have about 5 minutes. Okay.
5-10 minutes.
Okay, great. One of the strategies that I recommend to my clients, especially when they're new clients, but I have continued to use it my entire investing career, is called dollar cost averaging. And what dollar cost averaging is it's when you put out a certain dollar investment into your investments on a regular basis at the regular same time every month, same dollar amount. When you do that, you are buying more shares when the value of those shares is lower, and you buy fewer shares when the market is topping. So that keeps you in a nice, even strategy, but it also means that you take the emotion out of your investing. I have to say, another quote is dollar cost averaging involves continuous investment in securities regardless of fluctuations in price levels of such securities. An investor should consider their ability to continue purchasing through fluctuating market prices. Such a plan does not assure profits, and it certainly does not protect you against declines. And I think that's all very true. But the very point of it is that if you have a consistent investment strategy, that's a good thing.
Just
the other,
for
yes,
some people, like for putting away college money into a college fund, just a certain amount every month is way easier. Just take it off the top before you start spending money. It's way easier than, like you said, the emotional investing where all of a sudden you're fearful and you have to figure out how to do it.
Right. And with something like college investing, and I shouldn't even say that, with all investing, it's never too late, but it's also never too early. You can start with such a small amount. I have clients' children who are, like 19, 20, and they're putting away $100 a month from their summer jobs. What a great way to start your investing career is at 19. Do you know how much money they will have when they get? I remember, anyway, I'll just skip that. So I want to say too that the other thing that you can do is you can increase the amount of your investment into your mutual funds or into your dollar cost averaging when market declines come. And then you can lighten up when the markets are going great, and you might want to use your investment money in another for another something that you're doing. You can, and you can reduce that amount at that time. But if you can, while the markets are going down and you hear about that, it's a great time to add to your investment. And then the other thing that you can do is when stocks and bonds are going down, it doesn't mean that they're going to go down any further. When you make these investments, they can go down. But over the long run, if you can hold on, they almost always will go up. Now, oops, I just made a promise. Can't do that. But you know what I'm saying. You may be getting lower.
Markets tend to the market in general, my understanding is that it tends to always come back. An individual stock or bond may not necessarily.
That's correct. And thank you for saying that, because I can't.
Okay.
But my point is that even if you're not getting the very lowest price when you invest today, if you start investing today, you are getting prices that are lower than they were last year. So that's a good thing. So those are a couple of things that I wanted to start with. And then I basically wanted to say too, that you should have some sort of an investment plan. That's really key. Get a plan together, figure out what you should be doing, where it's going to take you, and if that's enough for you. And if you have a change in your financial situation, talk to your financial advisor. Tell them what's going on. Don't wait until the damage is already done and it's too late, and now you're in desperate need of money, or you might need to take money out of your retirement plan. That's not a helpful thing to your long-term goals. So see if you can talk with your financial advisor and get some good ideas from them about what else you might be able to do. So my final thing is that if you don't have a financial advisor, I am available, and I am willing to do a half an hour consultation with any of your group members, Melanie and Tovy. And they can call me at my phone number, which is 714-323-7059. And other than that, I can't do any advertising today, but I can tell you what my phone number is. And I can also tell you that, you know, I want to be a resource for those of you who are in the group, but by, you know, my restrictions, I can't do it through Facebook Messenger or through texting. You need to call me. That's just the way my rules roll.
Got it.
So if there is anything that an individual specifically has questions about, please do feel free to contact me. I'd be happy to help.
And you can message us to get the phone number. If you don't want to replay the video to get it, you can message me and I'll send you her phone number. Thank you so much, Margaret. The last thing I wanted to mention, you know, some of us are in a position where we can take an opportunity in a recession to be buying more stocks or buying a house. But some people who may be tuning into this, that may not be their financial situation. You may not be in that boat yet. And like I said, educate yourself so you can get in that boat. But also watch my video from a few months ago called Creative Financing. You know, Tovy and I have gone through hard times. Luckily, we had an avocado tree in our backyard, and I would just go pick 60 avocados and sell them at 50 cents each so that I had $30 to go grocery shopping with.
Yeah.
You know, be creative, do, you know, hustle and do something, but don't get scared. Just stay optimistic and know that, you know, you're setting yourself up to be in a good place in the good times, and it all can just keep getting better and better. And if you maintain that mindset, that's what's going to happen because of your reticular activating system. If you just wake up every morning and say, good things are going to happen today, guess what? That's what's going to happen.
Right? Yeah.
And, you know, and then you go out and you have some horrible thing happen, God forbid, right? And you go, wow, I guess there's a lesson in this for me. I guess there must be a reason why this happened, right?
Yeah, I mean, the truth of the matter is like we wouldn't be where we are today if we didn't take opportunity of every recession, we had in
And if we didn't have such a good financial advisor.
Yeah, that too, right? We
Thank
bought
you.
our first condo in the recession in 2001, 2002. We bought our first condo, we sold it, and we bought our first house in 2008 in the recession. And in 2020, well, we already had a house.
We just had bought another
Yeah,
house.
we sold the house that we had for 11 years. We bought another one. And then while everybody was, COVID hit, and everybody's running to the grocery store to buy toilet paper and paper towel, we were online and look for what is cheaper to buy, stocks to buy, and we looking a lot into that, and
we're buying stocks.
we were buying stocks. Everybody buying paper towel, we're buying stocks, and that's where we are right now. But because we weren't afraid, because Mel and I, we're not afraid to do anything. And why? Because we failed so many times. Of course, we didn't tell everybody how much we'll be in downside a lot of times, but people don't know that. But yeah, we we dropped dead a few times, but we come back alive. We come back alive because we had a good support, a good finance advisor that helped us as well to put our stuff together. And but we just keep on moving forward, and never be afraid to invest in anything, guys, because you never know what's gonna happen.
But be smart.
Be smart. Yeah.
Be smart, but don't be afraid.
Don't be afraid at all, because what's the point of being afraid? Okay, because you can be afraid to do investment, but why don't be afraid? Don't do investment.
Mm-hmm.
Right? Because if you really think about it.
Which one's scarier?
Which one's the scarier? What you want to see yourself 5 years from now, 10 years from now? You want to be sitting in the same chair? I definitely don't want to be sitting in the same chair 10 years from now.
Wow. I'll be happy to be on vacation in Vegas in 10 years.
Yes, but I would like to be sitting in a different chair. I would like to be in different level in my life. Because I'm not getting younger, and I want to feel more relaxed every day in my life. But I have to build it. I have to build the mindset that will get me to relaxing retirement. I don't think I'm ever going to retire, because I really love what I do right now, and I just feel I can do that for the rest of my life. Just doing this, helping people, to motivate people, to encourage people to take different mindset in their life. It's all about positivity mindset, to make you grow, just stop being afraid doing stuff. Seriously, just stop being afraid doing stuff. Just do it because you can. I can, you can, everybody can do.
If you can do it, you can do it.
Trust me. If I came all the way from West Coast Africa, small island that I feel a prison because it's so small. I feel like a prison. Beautiful island, but I'm where I am today because I had.
You weren't afraid.
Yeah, I wasn't afraid to take a risk. I wasn't afraid to get out of the island and go to big country and try to make myself out. I wasn't afraid to come to US without knowing any English. I mean, it take me. I'm still learning English, right? I'm still learning the language, but I wasn't afraid to learn that. I wasn't afraid every time I talk to people and they say, "What do you say?" And I keep repeating myself, and I mean, guys, I still don't understand what you say. Okay. Now I have to use my gesture, right? I had to find a way to survive. I had to find a way to survive in any way, in any directions. And that's where I am today. But why? But how I get here? Because I always kept my mindset positively. For the music I listen to, for the quotes, I actually, if you go in my page, on my group, what you see is all inspirational quotes. Because the inspiration quote, I just don't put that because I put that because so it's helping me. As it inspired me, when I choose inspiration quote to put up on my page, it has to inspire me first. I have to feel it. I have to dream it, and then I put it on for you so you can see if you can dream the same thing. Because I'm keeping my positive mindset so I can take me farther. for their life. So I cannot miss any opportunities in life. I don't want to miss any opportunities in life. I miss a lot. I miss a lot of opportunity in life because I didn't know how to speak the language, because I didn't had a lot of education to gain a field. Some way somehow I miss a lot of opportunity.
But it all happened for a reason.
Yeah, I know, right? I miss opportunity because somebody just tell me, hey, I have opportunity for you. I say, no man, I don't think I can do that. Yes, you can. No, I don't think I can do that because I was scaring myself. I cannot do stuff like that, right? And but that's not me anymore. I'm not missing any more opportunity because opportunities is great.
But you got to be discerning about your opportunities. That's
Yes.
the other thing we were talking about this week about sharing. You don't just run after every opportunity. And that, if you need to go back and watch about knowing your life purpose and knowing your mission, and then you can choose the opportunities that are getting you closer on your mission, because we don't want to be just chasing every opportunity that someone comes along and tells us about.
Of course. I mean, opportunity has to align with yourself, with your own self. If opportunity is not aligned with your own self, it's not opportunity for you. It might be opportunity for somebody else, not for me. Because I mean, if you give me opportunity for to for example, I don't know, you give me opportunity to go fly an airplane. I'm like, hey, no, dude, that's not opportunity. I can fly an airplane, but I know who can. I have a lot of friends that does. Might be opportunity for them for you giving my job in that field, but it's not my opportunity. Right? So I wouldn't take it. Right? Something like that. So
anyway, we're on vacation, but we're also working. So schedule your appointment. Reach out to us if there's anything we can do to support you with anything. And Margaret, thank you again so much for your time. We really appreciate and your generous offer to all the group members.
Thank you.
Take care.
Thank you guys
Take care.
for being here, and
Bye.
don't forget to subscribe to our YouTube channel and our TikTok. And we have a lot of information on our YouTube, and we have a lot of more things going on coming out soon. That we're working on it. All right. Bye-bye.